Little Greg. Little Greg. Turn that on too. It's still gonna be too loud. Hey, shalom, shalom. Sorry about that delay. So, how's everybody been? Good to hear. All right, we're going to get into another one of these lessons about loosely around the temple. So we've been doing some lessons that centered around the temple. We're going to kind of continue that. So like I always do, we ask y'all a couple of questions. Was man originally created immortal? So yeah. So when Adam was he created immortal? Say so? Everybody that say he was immortal, raise your hand. Everybody that say not, raise your hand. Okay, so that's one. I want y'all to keep that in your mind. Let me ask y'all, what was the significance of the Messiah being stripped of all his clothes while he was about to be crucified? What was the purpose of him being stripped of his garments? So that's just the woman was being mean. That's all it means, right? No, that's way more than mean. They're trying to humiliate him. Okay. All right. Let's get into it. Give me John 19:24.
John chapter 19 and verse 24. They said therefore among themselves, let us not rend it, but cast lots for it, whose it shall be, that the scripture might be fulfilled, which saith, they parted my raiment among them, and for my vesture they did cast lots. These things therefore the soldiers did.
So this is showing you that he was stripped naked, right? So this is going to play back into this lesson in a little while. All right? Now, why did the Most High put the tree of good and evil in the in the garden in the first place? Well, test. Say free will. Anybody else? All right. For the test, free will, choices, right? Give me Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 15. Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 15. See, I have set before you this day life and good.
You did what?
I have set before you this day life and good.
Life and good. I set them before you, right? You say, I set these things before you. Read.
And death and evil.
Death and evil. It's the same thing that was in the garden, right? You say, I'll put these things before you. And do what?
And that I command you this day, to love Yahuwah your Elohim, to walk in his way, and to keep his commandments.
To do what?
To keep his commandments.
To keep his commandments. So anything that he needs to do is a what? It's a commandment, right? Go ahead.
And his statutes and his judgments, that you may live and multiply.
You may do what?
Live and multiply.
Live and multiply. Read.
And Yahuwah your Elohim shall increase you in the land, whether you go to possess.
I'm down to verse 19.
Verse 19. I call Shamaim and the earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death.
You did what?
I have set before you life and death.
Same thing. He repeated it over again. Just a couple of verses later. Telling you all over again. Read that from the top again.
I call Shamaim and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death.
Life and death. Read.
Blessings and curses.
You choose what happened to you. Right? He's showing you. I'm setting them before you. Free will. I don't want to make you do nothing. It's up to you to choose. Right? Finish that out.
That both you and your seed may live.
That what?
You and your seed may live.
That you and your seed may live. Genesis chapter 2 and verse 16. Choices, right?
Genesis chapter 2 and verse 16. And Yahuwah Elohim commanded the man.
He did what?
Commanded the man.
Commanded the man. Did he suggest it to him? Or he commanded him? Read.
Commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden you may freely eat.
You may what?
Freely eat.
How many trees he said?
Every.
Right there he says every. But he gonna put a stipulation in there. Read.
But of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat of it.
You what?
You shall not eat of it.
I suggest that you don't eat of this tree. Or is he commanded them not to eat of it? Commanded them, right? Read.
You shall not eat of it. For the day that you eat thereof, you shall surely die.
You what?
You shall surely die.
You shall surely die. Again, what did he just set before? Life and death, right? choices, right? Not tricky at all. Set it before me. You choose your fate. You choose what happened to you. Genesis chapter 4 and verse 6.
Genesis chapter 4 and verse 6. And Yahuwah said unto Cain, why are you wroth?
Why are you mad? You mad or not? Read.
And why is your countenance fallen?
Why is your face long? Read.
If you do well, shall you not be accepted?
He said, if you do well, shall you not be accepted? He put what before him? A choice, right? Read.
If you do not well, sin lie at the door.
Sin lies at the door. Gave him the choice. If you do well, I will accept you. But if you don't, sin lies at the door. So he just gave Cain a choice. Set it before him. Verse 1 Kings chapter 13. First Kings chapter 13, verse 8.
1 Kings chapter 13 and verse 8. And the man of Elohim said unto the king, if you will give me half your house, I will not go with you. Neither will I eat bread nor drink water in this place. For it was charged me by the word of Yahuwah, saying, eat no bread.
Do what?
Eat no bread.
So it was charged by who?
Yahuwah.
The word of the Most High. Read.
Eat no bread, nor drink water, nor turn again by the same way that you came.
So the word told him, don't eat no bread, don't drink no water, and don't come back the same way that you came. Read.
So he went another way, and returned not by the way that he came to Bethel.
So right here, there was a choice set before this man. If you finish reading this story, you will see that he was deceived and he made the wrong choice. Right? 1 Samuel 15 and 1. So out of all these choices that we've seen so far, did anybody get it right? Nobody didn't get it right, did they? So far, out of all the choices that we've seen, we know the children of Israel chose to do evil. Adam and Eve chose to do evil. Cain chose to do evil. This man right here, they don't give his name. They just call him the man of God. He did evil. Let's see in this one. 1 Samuel chapter 15 and verse 1.
Samuel also said unto Saul, Yahuwah sent me to anoint you king. Anoint you to be king over his people, over Israel. Now therefore, listen unto the voice of the words of Yahuwah. Thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, I remembered that which Amalek did to Israel, how he laid wait for him in the way.
I did what?
Laid wait for him in the way.
Go ahead.
When he came up from Egypt. Now go and smite Amalek.
Do what?
Smite Amalek.
What does smite mean? Go and kill Amalek. They ambushed you when you came out of Egypt the first time. They was waiting on you to kill you. So that's why he mentioned, I know what the Amalekites did to you. How Agag laid in wait, ambushed you. Read.
Now go and smite Amalek and utterly destroy all that they had.
Do what?
Utterly destroy all that they had.
Go and destroy all that they have. Read.
And spare them not.
Don't do what?
And spare them not.
Spare them not. Go ahead.
But slay both man and woman.
Do what?
Slay both man and woman.
Slay both man and woman. Is he making this kind of difficult for him to understand? Or is it clear? It's clear, right? Read.
Infant and suckling.
Do what?
Infant and suckling.
That means baby, infant. So he want him to do what? Kill everybody. Because I know this kind of sound harsh to somebody that might not have a little understanding, but if you let that little baby grow up, he gonna turn into the same thing that they are. You know what I'm saying? Oh, dang, y'all God evil. No, he just knows what's gonna happen if you don't kill everybody. Read.
Ox and sheep, camel and donkey.
Kill everything. Kill the roaches in there. Kill the bed bugs. Everything that's walking, kill it. Read.
And Saul gathered the people together and numbered them in Telaim.
Okay, so now Saul numbering the people. All right, jump down to verse 14.
Verse 14. And Samuel said, what meaneth this bleating of the sheep in my ear?
Wait a minute. He say, why do I hear them sheep? You're supposed to kill everything. So he asked him, if you killed everything, why do I hear them sheep? Read.
And Saul said, they brought them from Amalek, from Amalekites. For the people spared the best of the sheep.
What?
The people spared the best of the sheep.
The people spared the best. Read.
And of the oxen to sacrifice unto Yahuwah, your Elohim.
So instead of following his instructions and doing what he told him to do, he trying to get. We shouldn't waste up them good sheep. We can do sacrifices. I know you love that aroma when it come up to your nose. Instead of doing what he told, he had a choice. But as we can see, he has failed it as well, right? Read.
And the rest we've utterly destroyed.
And the rest, see, I killed the rest of them, though. But he told them to do what to all of them. Slay everything. All this be coming back. Remember, all of these are what? That 17. We're coming right back here. Yep.
Therefore, when they were gathered together, Pilate said unto them,
Choices, right? Read.
whom will you that I release to you? Barabbas or Mashiach?
So certainly we won't make this mistake, will we? This is the great choice. Certainly we won't kill the Messiah over this murderer and thief and robber. Certainly we won't do that. Read.
For he knew that for envy they had delivered him. When he was set down on the judgment seat, his wife sent unto him, saying, have you nothing to do with this just man? For I have suffered many things this day in a dream because of him. But the chief priests and elders persuaded the multitude that they should ask Barabbas and destroy Mashiach.
Do what?
They should ask Barabbas and destroy Mashiach.
Wait a minute. You mean to tell me that our people made the choice to choose the criminal over the Savior? I know they didn't do that. Our people would do something so stupid, would they? Read.
The governor answered and said unto them, whether of the twain will you that I release to you? They said, Barabbas.
They said who?
Barabbas.
They said Barabbas. So again, every choice that's been presented to the people, they have did what with it? Failed it, right? Y'all think some of us at the end gonna choose the wrong thing? I pray that we don't. Let's go back to that 1 Samuel 15. Jump down to verse 21.
Verse 7, 15:21. But the people took of the spoil, sheep and oxen, the chief of the things which should have been utterly destroyed, to sacrifice unto Yahuwah your Elohim in Gilgal. And Samuel said, hath Yahuwah as great delight in burnt offering and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of Yahuwah?
Doing what?
Does Yahuwah have great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices?
Do he have great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices? So would he rather kill an animal or you do what he tells you to do? Which one would he rather do? He'd rather you do what he say do. So this innocent animal don't have to die. Read.
As in obeying the voice of Yahuwah? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice.
To do what?
To obey is better than sacrifice.
He said obey is better than sacrifice because rebellion is what? Witchcraft. Read.
For rebellion is that the sin of witchcraft.
It is what?
The sin of witchcraft.
So when Adam and Eve rebelled, it was as what?
The sin of witchcraft.
So when Cain disobeyed, it was as what?
The sin of witchcraft.
So when the children of Israel disobeyed and didn't follow the law, they did what?
As the sin of witchcraft.
So every time you rebel and don't do it, it is the sin of what?
Witchcraft.
As witchcraft. What did he say should happen to a witch? They're supposed to be what?
Burn.
Burn. So, yeah. So, all of the people that rebelled, well, most of them that rebelled, they was tricked or deceived into being rebellious. Right? It was tricked and deceived into rebellion against the Most High. Because your adversary, as a roaring lion, seeks whom he may devour. Right? The devil was a master psychologist. He know every trick to get you. You know how to whisper something on you and deceive you into following them. But you will think that you're doing right. Even though the commandment is plain and simple. Don't do this. Right? Revelation chapter 12 and verse 9.
Revelation chapter 12 at verse 9.
This is why he says, be in the world, but not of the world, right? Read.
And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent.
That what?
That old serpent.
That old serpent, which goes back to where? Genesis, right? Read.
That old serpent, called the devil. Called the devil.
And who?
And Shaitan.
Read.
Which deceived the whole world.
We do what?
Deceived the whole world.
Deceives the whole world. So sometime in the near future, or any time, a choice is going to be presented to you. Right? We're supposed to know the what? The law, right? We know the law. When the choice is presented to you, you shouldn't be what? You shouldn't get deceived. Right? So he's going to always tell you something contrary to what's written. So he said, an old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceives half of the people. The whole world. Right? A lot of this he used man's flesh, his emotions to get him. We're going to see that. Let's get Genesis chapter 1 and verse 26. Genesis chapter 1 and verse 26.
Genesis, or Bereshit, chapter 1 and verse 26. And Elohim said, let us make man in our image.
Let's do what?
Let us make man in our image.
Go ahead.
After our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea.
So, do the Most High got any sin in him? No. So right here, he said that man was made in what? In his image. So right here, Adam and Eve don't have what in them? Sin. No sin in them. Right? So this is pre-sin. No sin is in them right now. So right now they're walking around looking just like the Most High. They're covered in light like the Most High is. At this moment, there's no sin. They don't know what death looks like at this moment. Jump over to Genesis chapter 2, verse 16.
Genesis chapter 2, verse 16. And Yahuwah Elohim commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden you may freely eat, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat of it. For the day that you eat thereof, you shall surely die.
You shall what?
Surely die.
You shall surely die. He's not speaking in a parable. He's not speaking in metaphors. This is plain and simple. The choice I'm putting before you. And like y'all said, it's a test. It's just to see if you're going to obey him. When he dropped the manna on in the wilderness, he said, I'm going to do this just to test y'all and see if you're going to keep my commandments. Just a test. I don't want to force you to do anything. I'm going to give you the opportunity. You can go to the left hand or the right hand if you choose to, but it will be wise and smart for you to do what I tell you to do, right? Plain and simple. We put the choice there before. Let's go to Genesis chapter 3 and verse 1.
Genesis 3 and 1.
Now remember, the devil is slick. He's cunning. He's crafty. He's a master psychologist. Read.
Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
He was more what?
More subtle than any beast of the field.
He was more subtle. He was crafty. Slick with it. He's like a prosecutor's attorney. He knows how to say something so you can say this and you can trap yourself. Read.
And he said unto the woman.
And it starts off with, and he said to the woman. This sounds like he was already talking to her, right? Read.
And he said to the woman, yeah, have Elohim said you shall not eat of every tree of the garden?
So right here, what did he just do? First off, he misquoted the Most High. The Most High said that you shall eat of every tree of the garden, but the tree that's in the midst of the garden, that's what the Most High said. He said, you shall eat of every tree. But the serpent come back and misquote him. Read it from the top again.
Yeah. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which Yahuwah Elohim hath made. And he said unto the woman, yeah, have Elohim said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden?
Have he said this? You know he didn't say that. So when somebody misquotes something, what's your first response to do it? To correct them, right? That's what he do. Read.
And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees in the garden.
So she corrected him. No, he didn't say that. He said we can eat of every tree except this one. She come back and try to clear it up. Read.
But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Elohim have said, you shall not eat of it, neither shall you touch it.
Now what did she just do? She just added to the word. He never mentioned anything about not touching the tree. So we're going to try to put this in real time and imagine what's really going on at this moment when they're talking. Like to put it in layman's terms. What is really going on with this? Go ahead, read.
And the serpent said unto the woman, oh, you shall not surely die.
You shall what?
You shall not surely die.
So, if I told you that if you write on this wall, you're going to surely die, and then somebody else tell you that you're not going to die, what did he just do? He planted a thought in her head. Well, the Most High said we're going to die. So I wonder why when he said we're going to die, and then you're looking at him like, how do you know? The fire going to die, how do you know? When you ask this, I know I would have shown you, prove it to me. You eat from it. You bite off it. Let me see you do it first. Right? Just try to put it in regular terms, right? You see it, this is exactly what we'll do. You eat first. Let me see you do it. Go ahead, show me. Show me. So the devil, I'm sure. See, I didn't die. Now this ain't in the book, so I don't want nobody to say, see, I'm just trying to bring it to you to make it more in today's time. So you can see the behind the scenes stuff. Go ahead.
Elohim do know that in the day that you eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open.
Oh, that's a what?
That your eyes shall be open.
So he told her, you're not gonna die, and he hiding something from you. It's something that he know that he don't want you to know. How you think he got his powers? He ate from the tree. He hid this from you. He ate from the tree. That's how he got his powers. Oh, that's it. He's slick, ain't he?
If he was conscious, my sister, you would know.
Right? Oh, he's trying to keep the power to himself. He don't want us to be like, he wants us to be running around worshiping him. But that's how he got his power. The serpent playing on the mind, tricking and planting thoughts in your mind, just like dudes do with that zeitgeist stuff. They plant a thought in your mind that the Messiah ain't real. And then you go stupid with it. Dang. So that stuff really come from Egypt. Dang. So all that stuff just business. All that stuff, man, that New Testament garbage, man. That's just boo-boo, man. Y'all stupid. That Jesus stuff, all these dudes is doing is the same thing the serpent is doing. He's making you make a choice. Because he's planting a thought in your mind to deceive you. And we as people eat it up. Hook, line, and sinker. Pick it up when you left off that.
When the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eye, and the tree to be desired to make one wise.
To do what?
To make one wise.
To make one wise. To make them wise. Go back to verse 4.
And the serpent said unto the woman, You shall not surely die.
He said, what?
You shall not surely die.
He just told Eve that she was what? He told her she was immortal. That's what he just told her. You ain't gonna die. You are immortal. That's what he's telling her right there with his statement. I'm gonna ask you again. Man from the beginning created immortal. Y'all still sticking to it? Yes. So man was created immortal. Okay. Who said yes with that confidence back there? I like that. Don't let me stick you up. So again, he's telling Eve that she is immortal. But if you're immortal, how do you die? Is Adam and Eve alive right now? Or is they dead? I thought they was immortal.
Started off that way.
How can you take immortality from somebody if they already immortal?
Are you certain in the Most High hand?
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see in a minute. So, if you're immortal, it means you cannot die. They are dead. But we'll continue. Read on.
And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eye, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her.
So, as she's doing this, I'm pretty sure in Eve's mind, she's contemplating, man, I don't know who to believe. We had the Aki in Cincinnati. He was like, man, I watch you, I watch him, I watch that guy, and I don't know who to believe. It's all kind of different doctrines. I'm just confused, man. I don't know what to believe. So I'm sure Eve is in her mind contemplating, I don't know who to believe. But I think he hides something from me. And I did just saw him eat. Read on.
And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked.
They what?
They knew that they were naked.
So instantly, after they rebel, break his law, now instantly they know that they are naked. They're no longer in the Most High's image anymore. They're not covered with light anymore. Whenever you are around God, in the presence of God, you shine. Right? So right here, they fell for this. But what should Eve have told the serpent? What should she have said? No. What did Mashiach do every time the serpent came to him? He did what?
Hit him with what was written.
He pulled it script. You know it ain't nothing to do with the sun. The law been here. We got a lesson to show you that her rebellion, her and Adam broke all the commandments in that one. Y'all remember that lesson? They broke every commandment in that one thing that they did. So in James it says if you break one, you're guilty of them all. So she should have hit him. Give you Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 3. This is what she should have hit him with.
Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 3. And he humbled you and suffered you to hunger, and fed you with manna, which you knew not, neither did they know, neither did your fathers know, that they might make you to know that man do not live by bread only.
What?
Do not live by bread only.
You don't live by bread only, but by what?
But by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yahuwah.
How many words?
Every word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yahuwah.
He said you may live by every word. Not some of them, every word. His word is, he told him, if you eat from this tree, you're going to surely die. But they got tricked and deceived by this master psychology. Go back to Genesis 3 and 5 again. Because they wanted to be wise. Well, wise in what? Read.
For Elohim do know that in the day that you eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and you shall be as gods, knowing good and evil.
So you're wise to only know what?
Good and evil.
And evil. Now, what determines what's good and what's evil? What is it? The law tells you what's good and what's evil. But Satan is called a what one? The lawless one, right? So he don't look to God's law to tell him what's right and what's wrong. He chooses what he want to do, what's good and evil. This is what Adam and Eve is doing now. I don't need your law to tell me what's good and what's evil. I'm a God myself. I can say what's good and what's evil to me myself. So if I want to do homosexuality, it's only evil to you. It ain't evil to me. His law tells you what's good and what's evil. So we see how they being tricked. So could you eat from the tree of life one time and live forever, or what? Do y'all think that they ever ate from the tree of life? Why would you not eat from it? Before they sinned. Before they sinned, why would you not eat of it? This tree is the tree of what? Life. Why would you eat from it? No, not the tree of good and evil, the tree of life. So do y'all think that they ate from the tree of life before? Absolutely. They ate from it before. Why wouldn't you eat from it? Exactly, I'm there every day. Tree of life. We're gonna see. So we're going to find out that Adam and Eve didn't have eternal life within them, but it was outside of them. Right? One moment. All right. Genesis chapter 3, verse 7.
And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons.
They did what?
Sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons.
So fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. So they knew that they was naked or exposed. So what's the first thing that you do when you get exposed? Try to cover up, right? But they're trying to cover up with what? Fig leaves. They're doing something, they're trying to cover their sins with the works of their hands. You can't cover your sins with the works of your hands. They physically did something to cover themselves up. But you still don't be shamed. Read on.
And they heard the voice of Yahuwah Elohim walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves.
Why they hiding? They got fig leaves on. You're not naked no more. What you hiding for? You're not naked anymore, right? Read.
They hid themselves from the presence of Yahuwah Elohim amongst the trees of the garden. And Yahuwah Elohim called unto Adam, and said unto him, Where are you? And he said, I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked.
What? Because you what?
Because I was naked.
Wait a minute, you just covered yourself with leaves. Why is he saying you're still naked? He covered himself with the works of his hands. Hold that. Genesis chapter 4 and verse 3.
Bereshit chapter 4, verse 3.
Because all sin has to be covered with what? Blood. Blood. Something must die to cover sin. Blood has to come forth to cover sin. Read.
And in the process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground.
He did what?
Brought of the fruit of the ground.
He brought of the fruit of the ground. Pigs are what? Fruit of the ground, right? Read.
An offering unto Yahuwah.
So Cain tried to cover his sins with the fruit of the ground. Read.
And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock.
He did what?
Brought of the firstlings of his flock.
Of his flock, meaning animals. Something has to die, with blood in it, to cover sin. Adam and Eve tried to cover their nakedness with the works of their hands. That's no good. Finish that out.
And his flock, and of the fat thereof. And Yahuwah had respect unto Abel.
He did what?
Have respect unto Abel.
He had respect unto Abel. So, one is doing it in the right way with a sacrifice, and the other one is trying to do it with, cover his sins with the fruit of the ground. This is no good. Go back to Genesis chapter 3 and verse 6. Verse 7 again.
Genesis 3 and 7. And the eyes of them both were open. And they knew that they were naked.
And they what?
And they knew that they were naked.
And they knew that they were naked. So in the chapter before this, it tells you that they was naked, but they was not ashamed. As soon as they did this, automatically they knew that they was naked. When you are around God in the presence of Yah, what happens to you? You do what? Say it louder. You be in God's light. So it makes you be what? It makes you light. Let's see. Get me Exodus chapter 34 and verse 28.
Shemot chapter 34 and verse 28. And he was there with Yahuwah 40 days and 40 nights.
This is Moses in there with him. He in there how long?
40 days and 40 nights.
He's in there for 40 days and for 40 nights. Read.
He did neither eat bread nor drink water. And he wrote upon the table the words of the covenant, the Ten Commandments. And it came to pass, when Moses came down from Mount Sinai, with the 2 tables of testimony in Moshe's hand, when he came down from the mount, that Moshe wished not that the skin of his face shone while he talked with him.
So just because Moses has been in there with him for 40 days and 40 nights, Moses got what on him? He got the light on him. His face is shining. just like what Adam and Eve originally had until they sinned. So Moses up there and come out shining, like for real shining. So when you around God, you got to shine. But you can't be around him with sin. If you're around him with sin, what happens? The same light will burn you up. So that's why Adam and Eve, you gotta go. Because you sinned. You took your light away from you. You can't be around me no more. Therefore, you can't absorb my light anymore. Y'all gotta go. Finish that out.
When Aaron and all the children of Israel saw Moses, behold, the skin of his face shone, and they were afraid to come near him.
They were afraid of him. That's where it's like a ghost. Face is shining. Read.
Moses called unto them, and Aaron and all the rulers of the congregation returned unto him. And Moses talked with him. And afterwards all the children of Israel came near. Verse 2.
Okay, we do the rest of it. So now they have sinned. They have lost their light. They tried to cover themselves with the works of their hands. But you can't do that. It's showing you that they had something, but they lacked something else. What did Adam and Eve lack? Who said that? Faith. They didn't believe him. They didn't believe what he told them straight out. The day that you eat from this tree, you're going to die. They didn't believe it. They lacked faith. But they had works. They tried to do some works with their hands. So they had one thing and lacked the other one. Give me Romans 9:32.
Romans chapter 9 and verse 32. Wherefore, because they sought it not by faith, but as it were by the works of the law.
By what?
By the works of the law. For they stumbled at the stumbling stone.
They did what?
Stumbled at the stumbling stone.
Read that one more time.
Wherefore, because they sought it not by faith.
They did what?
Sought it not by faith.
They sought it not by faith. Read.
But as it were by the works of the law. For they stumbled at the stumbling stone.
They stumbled at the stumbling stone because you didn't believe. Your faith wasn't there. You thought you could be saved by works alone. Galatians chapter 2 and verse 16.
Galatians chapter 2 verse 16. Knowing that a man is not justified by the works of the law, but by the faith of Mashiach.
By what?
By the faith of Mashiach.
By the faith of Mashiach. So he tell you that the Sabbath, he says you're supposed to delight in the Sabbath, right? So even if you keep the Sabbath, but you constantly looking at your watch, like, oh my goodness, man, I can't wait for that sun to go down. Are you delighting in it? Absolutely not. So that's the works of the law. You're actually doing it, but you don't really want to. You're just doing it. Hey, man, what time the sun go down? Hit that Google on that thing, bro. What time the sun? Hey, 9:40. Man, 3. That's you're actually doing it because you're keeping it. You didn't go to work today. You came in class. You sat there. You didn't delight in it. You're doing it, but you don't want to. When you got faith, you want to do it. Not nobody forcing you to do it. They're actually like, I can't wait for the Shabbat. I get a day off. I get to rest today. No work. You delight in it. Everybody. Give me James chapter 2. But you gotta have both. You can't do one without the other. You gotta have faith and works. James chapter 2, verse 14.
James chapter 2, verse 14. What do it profit, my brother, though a man may say he hath faith and have not works? Can faith save him? If a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food.
He said, if you say you got faith, but you don't have no works, that don't go. If you got faith, it's going to actually make you do the work. So when you say that you got faith, but you don't do nothing, you're actually showing that you really don't have faith. Read.
If a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food, and one of you say unto them, depart in peace, be you warmed and filled.
You don't do absolutely nothing. You just say it. Homeless people, get you some food and put some clothes on. They're homeless for a reason. You're supposed to do something. Not just say it. Be filled. Be warm. How? Read.
Notwithstanding, you give them not those things which are needful to the body, but do it properly. Even so, faith, if it hath not worked, is dead being alone. Dead being alone.
He says, even so, faith, if it have not worked, is dead being alone. So you need both of them. Faith and works. If you really believe, you're going to do something. You're really going to do his law. Because you believe. If you don't have faith, you ain't going to do it. You're not going to do it. You're going to make up every excuse. Oh, you know I can't do this stuff, man. The law been done away with. You're going to make up excuses not to do it. And if you really don't have faith, read.
Yes, a man may say, you have faith, and I have work. Show me your faith without your work, and I'll show you my faith by my work.
Do what?
I will show you my faith by my work.
I'm going to show you my faith by my works. My sister got this thing set up. She's going to feed the homeless. That's her. She got faith in Yah, and her works are what? To go and clothe and feed the people. Right? Just like this passage just made. So she's doing both. Faith and works. Read.
You that believe there is one Elohim, you do well. The devils also believe and tremble.
They believe the same thing. They believe. Read.
But when you know, obeying man, that faith without works is dead, was not Abraham our father justified by works when he had offered Isaac his son upon the altar?
So right here, Abraham is getting ready to sacrifice his son because he's so strong in his what? He's so strong in his faith that he's willing to sacrifice his son. He believed. He told him that I'm going to raise up an heir from you. And he's going to be great. And he's going to do all of this stuff. But now you turn around and tell him to kill him. But Abraham believed this so strong that he's willing to take this knife and kill his own son. That's faith and works, not lip service. So he wasn't up on that hill faking it. Like, I know he's gonna tell me to stop. I know he's gonna say stop. No, he was about to really do it because he believed. He really had faith. Verse 22.
Verse 22. See how faith walked with his works? And by works was faith made perfect. And the scripture was fulfilled which said, Abraham believed Elohim, and it was imputed unto him for righteousness. And he was called the friend of Elohim.
He was called what?
The friend of Elohim.
So he was called the friend of Elohim because he had faith. And his works showed that he had faith. But we've seen that Adam and Eve, none of them believed. And their sin was counted as witchcraft because they all rebelled. Every one of them rebelled. Give me Leviticus, Revelation chapter 16, verse 15.
Revelation chapter 16.
So when you sin, and somebody find out about it, you feel what? Shame, right? Exposed, right? Again, so when you get caught, as they say, with your pants down, somebody come in, what's your first reaction? Cover it up, right? That's what man does. That's what the sinful man does. He try to cover it up. That's what Adam and Eve did. Read Revelation 16, verse 15.
Revelation 16, verse 15. Behold, I come as a thief. Increased is he that watcheth, and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked.
Lest he do what?
Lest he walk naked.
He walk naked. He say, I'm coming back. And if you don't know when, you're going to get caught naked. You're going to get caught naked. You're going to cover up. It's going to be too late. Read that from the top again.
Behold, I come as a thief. Increased is he that watch, and keep his garments, lest he walk naked, and they see his shame.
At least he walked naked, and they see his shame. Now, Adam and Eve had one part, and they lacked the other. Which part did they have? They didn't have the faith, because they didn't believe it was for works. But, it was originally eaten from the other tree. I'm going to prove it in a minute. Alright? So, they had one, but they lacked the other one. They thought that their works could save them. It's a lot of people, all the people that don't believe in the New Testament, they believe that their works is going to save them. Right? They don't believe in the one that was sent. They believe that their works is going to save them. The Garden of Eden. Anybody know what Eden means? What does it mean? Right? Come on, louder. Paradise. Right? So, Adam and Eve was placed in paradise. Or the kingdom. Right? Now, What works did they do to get in there? They didn't do nothing. Why did they deserve to get put in there? What did they do to get in there to deserve to go? They did nothing to deserve to go. They didn't do no works. They didn't do nothing. They was created and put in there from the get-go. They was already in there. But they didn't do any works to get in there. Nothing. So it's showing you that your works alone in the end ain't gonna get you there. It's gonna be your faith with it that's gonna get you there. But he says, do this, lest you be found naked and they see his shame. All right. Genesis chapter 3. Matter of fact, remember a lesson that I've done, a bunch of them, called Declaring the End from the Beginning, right? So Genesis points you to Revelation, and Revelation points you back to Genesis, right? All that what I just told you. Give me Revelation chapter 22, verse 1.
Revelation chapter 22, verse 1. And he showed me a pure river of water of life.
This is what right here. This is the kingdom in the end. Read, which also showing you a reflection of the beginning. Read.
Clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of Elohim and of the Lamb. In the midst of the street of it, on either side of the river, was there the tree of life.
Was what?
The tree of life.
The tree that was in the beginning. He said the tree of life is there. Read.
Which bare 12 manner of fruit.
How many manner of fruit?
12 manner of fruit.
12 manner of fruit. Read.
And yielded her fruit every month.
Every what?
Every month.
Every month. So this means you had to do what with the tree? It gave you 12 manner of fruit. And it said it yielded its fruit every month. So what did you have to keep? You had to do. You had to keep going to the tree. So Adam and Eve was eating from the tree. But after they did what they did, you get cut off. So they never was immortal. It was the tree that was keeping them alive the whole time. So once you get back, that tree gonna yield its fruit every month. And it's like going back and getting your battery recharged. Whew. Oh, I'm ready to get in there and do my push-ups. I'm ready to. So you couldn't eat from it just one time. You had to keep going back to eat from it. Over, over again. That's why it yields its fruit every month. 12 manner of fruit. So they never was immortal. Because if you were immortal, you can't die. But the book will actually make it even clearer to you in a minute. Give me Genesis chapter 3, verse 22.
Genesis chapter 3 and verse 22. And Yahuwah Elohim said, Behold, the man is become as one of us, to know good and evil. And now, lest he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life and eat and live forever.
And do what?
And live forever.
And live forever. We got to get him up out of here. Because he think he gonna get You can't eat from the tree no more. I told you. I told you in the day that you do this, you're going to die. But they didn't die that particular day. Why? Why did they die that particular day? Let's see. Go back to verse 21.
Verse 21. Unto Adam also and to his wife did Yahuwah Elohim make coats of
He
skin.
did what?
Coats of skin.
He made coats of skin. Remember, fig leaves come from a plant. I can't do it. It takes an animal. Where did he get these skins from? From where?
Animals.
From animals. It means something had to die. So, according to the law, where does sacrifice have to take place at? At the what? At the altar. This is where the temple part comes in at. So right here, we know, according to his own law, when you do a sacrifice, it has to be at an altar. Then you have to walk up to the laver, wash. You must become a king and a priest to enter into the tabernacle. Then when you enter into the tabernacle, you have the what's that piece of furniture right there? Anybody remember? The mirror is still outside. So now we're inside. The menorah, right? Go back and watch the lessons. Keep. So all of this is showing you, but before you enter into the temple, what's on the curtains? Who said it? Cherubim. Cherubim is on the curtains. Right? So the first place the temple is actually found at is back here. We're about to see that. Read verse 21 again.
Verse 21.
Cherubim, the angels. Yep, the angels. They're Malachim. Go ahead.
And unto Adam also and to his wife did Yahuwah Elohim make coats of skin.
Do what?
Make coats of skin.
Go ahead.
And clothed them.
And clothed them. He did it himself. So we know that no sin can be in the holy place. So what did he make Adam and Eve do? Out. Can't be around me no more. Taking my life back. Give me that back. Back to me. No more life for you. All right, read that next verse.
Verse 22. And Yahuwah Elohim said, Behold, the man is become as one of us.
So now his shame is covered. The Most High has put skins on them and covered them up. They're no longer spirits. They're no longer physically naked anymore. They're not ashamed of this anymore because the Most High himself have covered their sins. Read.
And now is he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life and eat and live forever. Therefore Yahuwah Elohim sent him forth from the Garden of Eden.
He did what?
Sent him forth from the Garden of Eden.
Sent him forth from the Garden of Eden. Read.
To till the ground from whence he was taken. So he drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden.
He did what?
Placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubim
What's there?
Cherubim.
Cherubim. Just like on the curtains, right? You can't come back in here no more. And he says, on what direction? On the, say it out loud.
East.
On the east. Because that's the way that the temple was facing. Give me Ezekiel 8 and 16.
Ezekiel chapter 8 and verse 16. And he brought me into the inner court of Yahuwah's house. And behold, at the door of the temple of Yahuwah, between the porch and the altar, were about 25 men, with their back towards the temple of Yahuwah, and their faces towards the east.
Towards what?
Towards the east.
Towards the east. So when they got kicked out the garden faces east, with the cherubim in front of it, just like the temple. Same thing. Because paradise, that was the holy place. Outside of it was the altar and the laver. And you got to wash before you come in here. You got to be cleansed before you can get back into paradise. So Adam and Eve reversed everything that we got to do. Now we got to go back and undo what they did to get in. Get me. Now remember, I asked y'all, why was Mashiach stripped naked? You see it already? He was stripped naked for a reason. So if you don't believe on him, you're going to be naked. You're going to be naked. Let's find out. Get me. Get me John 19 verse 23. This is how you pay attention to details with this thing. Let's show you something. Because we don't just top read. Go ahead.
John chapter 19, verse 33. But when they came to Mashiach and saw that he was dead already, they brake not his leg. But one of the soldiers with a spear pierced his side, and forthwith came there out blood and water.
Now remember, he is naked, hanging in front of all of the people to see. Right? Stripped naked, nothing on. Go ahead.
And he saw, and he that saw it bear record, and his record is true. And he knoweth that he saith truth, that you might believe. For these things were done, that the scripture should be fulfilled. A bone of him shall not be broken. And again, another scripture said, they shall look on him whom they pierced. And after this, Joseph of Arimathea,
We good right there. What verse is good?
that was 30.
Oh, you're good. Get John 19 and 23.
20.
John 19 and 23.
John chapter 19, verse 23. Then the soldiers, when they had crucified Mashiach, took his garment.
You did what?
Took his garment.
Took his garment, read.
And made 4 parts, to every soldier a part, and also his coat.
And also what?
His coat.
Go ahead.
Now the coat was without seam.
It was what?
Without
He
seam.
said the coat was without seam. Read.
Woven from the top throughout.
Woven from the top throughout. Why are he telling us this? Why are he telling us that this thing was made without seam, woven from the top? Did they tear this? Or did they tear the other stuff? They tore the other garment, but this part, they didn't tear it. Why are they telling us this? That it's woven from the top and without seam. Anybody. $100, anybody that get it. Except Travis. They telling us this for a reason. Finish that verse out.
Every soldier apart, and also his coat. Now the coat was without seam, woven from the top throughout.
Yep.
They said, therefore, among themselves, let us not rend it.
Let us what?
Let us not rend it.
Let us not tear this garment. They tore the rest of them, but this part they didn't tear. Read.
But cast lots for it. Whose it shall be, that the scripture might be fulfilled, which saith, they parted my raiment among them, and for my vesture they did cast lots. These things, therefore, the soldiers did.
So, you mentioned that it was woven from the top without seam, and then they tell you that they didn't tear this part, but the rest of the garments they tore. Let's go back to the law. Exodus chapter 28 and verse 31.
Exodus 28, verse 31. And you shall make you a robe of the ephod, all of blue. And there shall be a hole in the top of it, in the midst thereof. And it shall have a binding of woven work.
Of what kind of work?
Woven work.
What did they say Messiah thing was?
Woven from the top.
Woven from the top. This is talking to who right here?
Priest.
The priest, right? Read.
Woven work round about it from the whole of it, as it were a whole of an habergeon. And that it be not rent.
That it be what?
And that it be not rent.
That it be not rent. They didn't tear his garment. They didn't tear that piece, did they? Even though they didn't tear it. The law says that a priest's garment shall not be rent. So when the priest got fed up and he ripped his garment, what did that symbolize? Go ahead, Trev.
And he wasn't a priest no more.
That he wasn't a priest no more. Your priesthood is over with if you do this. Because he told you right here in the description that this garment is not to be rent or torn. So, remember the temple lesson where the veil was ripped in half? What did that symbolize? That the Leviticus, the Aaronic priesthood was over with.
All of the priests, they all rent within Jordan.
But Messiah's garment wasn't rent, symbolizing what?
He'll be a priest forever.
Priest forever. She heard me. So right there, this is what this is showing. This is why the garment wasn't rent, because it's showing that his priesthood is forever. I don't even know if they understood what they were doing. Oh.
I think I'm gonna rip that one, bro. I got dibs.
So, right here, this is why this is. This is why they're giving us these details in Matthew, that the garment was woven. See how most of the time we read this and we'll just read over that, right? It won't mean nothing. but they always say stuff for a reason. There's no idle words in this book. They're here for a reason. So, this was showing that he took on the nakedness of the world. He got humiliated for everybody. But if you don't believe in him, you got to do what? You got to bear your own nakedness, your own shame, because you don't rock with him. He ain't a priest for you. So again, you're showing the sacrifice outside for Adam and Eve, right? We know that that's the altar. Then you have the laver. The laver symbolizes what? Washing, right? But washing symbolizes what? Baptism. So when are you covered from your sins? Let's see. Covered in what? Galatians chapter 3, verse 27.
Galatians chapter 3, verse 27. For as many of you as have been baptized in the Mashiach have put on Mashiach.
Have been what?
Put on Mashiach.
He cover you now. Read.
There is neither Jew nor Greek.
Now go back to that verse and read it one more time.
For as many of you as have been baptized into Mashiach have put on Mashiach.
Now put on Mashiach. So baptism is a symbolic thing, right? Of what?
Cover them. Cover them.
Cover Mashiach, what else? His death. Right? So when you die, what happens? You stop breathing, right? The breath go out. When you go in the water, what do? You stop breathing, right? So when the Ruach enters back into the Mashiach, what happens? After he's dead, he breathes again. The breath of life. When you come out the water, what's the first thing you do? Right? It's showing you this is what it is. You're like imitating what he's done. You stop breathing, and they say you are a new man today when you get baptized. You were born again. That's what it's trying to show you. Make sense? So, with that being said, praise the Lord.
Questions? Comments? Anybody got questions on the chat? I got questions in here.
Yeah, you got that dark. So you can't hear me looking. Got it.
That's a good question.
I got a question for y'all. What would make, or not necessarily a question, what would make Eve look at that tree and desire it for wisdom? What about the tree said anything about wisdom? What was the name of the tree?
Knowledge of good and evil.
What?
Knowledge of good and evil.
What do wisdom got to do with it? Nothing, right? So, what was when they knew good and evil? What was that actually?
It was basically saying that they can decide what's good and what's evil.
So they can give their own commands. Right? What are the commandments?
You shall have no other.
Get Deuteronomy chapter 4 right there. So they was going to be able to make their own commands, their own judgments on situations, the whole nine, right? And she said she desired this thing for wisdom. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 4.
Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 4. But ye that did cleave unto Yahuwah your Elohim are alive, every one of you this day. Behold, I have taught you statutes and
He
judgments.
said, I taught you what?
Statutes and
I
judgments,
taught you statutes and judgments.
even as Yahuwah my Elohim commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess
So
it.
he done taught them commandments, statutes, judgments, all these things, right? Read on.
Keep therefore and do them,
Keep therefore and do them in what?
for this is your wisdom.
For this is your what?
Wisdom.
The commandments, the statutes, and the judgments is the what?
Wisdom.
Is the wisdom. So when she desired it for wisdom, she desired it to be able to make her own commandments, statutes, and judgments. I just want to do as thou wilt. Exactly. Want to put that up.
So when we rebel, it is as the sin of what?
Witchcraft.
Witchcraft. And all witches get what?
Burn.
Fine.
Burned.
Fine. You are welcome. Todayah. Shalioso.
Now,